Most financial advice focuses entirely on increasing your profit margins and padding your savings account. We're taught from a very young age that a healthy bank balance is the ultimate measure of financial success. But in a quiet shareholder letter written back in 2004, the founder of one of the most valuable companies on the planet revealed a completely opposite philosophy. Jeff Bezos explained that he intentionally ignores profit margins and actively avoids standard accounting metrics that other businesses obsess over. Instead, he operates on 3 strict financial rules that govern every single dollar flowing through his empire. These rules completely reject traditional financial wisdom. They focus on something much deeper and significantly more powerful than the superficial metrics most people track. Today, we are going to explore the exact counterintuitive framework Bezos uses to evaluate money. You will see how traditional financial advice might actually be holding you back from building long-term wealth. And by the end of this, you will look at your own income and expenses in a completely different way. Let us dive into the first rule. Chapter 1: The Profit Margin Trap. When we look at standard financial success, we almost always look at percentage margins. If you buy an item for $10 and sell it for $15, you feel great about that 50% margin. Most traditional businesses and individual investors will bend over backward to protect those percentages. They will raise prices, cut corners, and hoard cash just to keep that percentage looking as healthy as possible on paper. But Bezos argues that this obsession with percentages is fundamentally flawed. He famously pointed out that investors and individuals cannot spend percentages. You cannot walk into a grocery store and buy food with a 50% margin. You can only spend absolute dollars. If you maintain a beautiful 50% margin but only sell one item a year, you only have $5 in your pocket. This simple observation forms the foundation of his entire approach to money and growth. Instead of trying to make every single transaction as profitable as possible, he looks at the bigger picture of total cash flow. This brings us to his actual primary financial metric. Chapter 2: The Absolute Cash Flow Rule. The first strict rule Bezos follows is to ruthlessly maximize absolute dollar free cash flow per share. This means he will happily destroy a beautiful profit margin if it results in more total dollars flowing through the system at the end of the year. Imagine you own a small neighborhood bakery. A traditional accountant might tell you to raise the price of your bread to maximize the profit margin on every single loaf. But the Bezos approach would tell you to lower the price of the bread so drastically that your margin practically disappears. Why would you do this? Because at that new lower price point, the entire neighborhood starts buying their bread exclusively from you. You make pennies on each loaf, but the sheer volume of customers generates a massive river of absolute cash. That cash can then be reinvested into buying better ovens and hiring more bakers. You generate absolute dollars instead of vanity percentages. But managing that much volume requires a completely different way of looking at daily operations, which leads us to his second strict rule. Chapter 3: The Output Illusion. We are conditioned to focus on the final output of our financial goals. We look at our end-of-year net worth, our monthly revenue targets, or the final stock price of a company. We obsess over these numbers and stress when they do not move in the right direction. Bezos calls this the output illusion. He believes that focusing on the final number is a complete waste of energy because that final number is entirely out of your direct control. You cannot wake up in the morning and magically force your net worth to increase by 10%. When Wall Street analysts would ask Bezos what he was doing to increase the stock price, he would tell them that he never even thinks about the stock price. He understands that final financial metrics are simply the delayed result of hundreds of smaller daily actions. If you spend your time worrying about the uncontrollable output, you lose sight of the things you can actually change today. To actually build wealth, you have to completely ignore the scoreboard and focus on the inputs. Chapter 4: Managing the Inputs. The second strict rule is to work backward from your ultimate goal and focus exclusively on controllable inputs. If your goal is to have a higher net worth, you must trace that output back to the specific daily habits that create it. You can't control the stock market returns or the inflation rate, but you can control exactly how much you spend on dining out each month. You can control how many hours you spend learning a new profitable skill. You can control the exact root causes of financial waste in your household. Bezos applied this by focusing his entire company on reducing the number of defects in their warehouses. He knew that reducing a packing error was a controllable input. If they packed boxes more efficiently, their costs would drop. If their costs dropped, their cash flow would increase. If their cash flow increased, the stock price would eventually take care of itself. By obsessing over the tiny actions you can control today, the massive financial outputs of tomorrow become practically inevitable. This relentless focus on inputs sets the stage for his most controversial rule. Chapter 6. The Short-Term Math Paradox. Every traditional financial model operates on short-term math. If you lower your prices or take a temporary pay cut to learn a new skill, the immediate math looks terrible. Your monthly income drops, your savings rate slows down, and conventional wisdom tells you you have made a massive mistake. Bezos completely rejects this short-term mathematical anxiety. In his letters, he explained that they have mountains of data showing exactly what happens when they lower a price. The data always proves that the immediate increase in sales is never enough to cover the immediate loss in profit. The short-term math always says that lowering prices is a stupid idea, but Bezos ignores the short-term math entirely because he knows something that the spreadsheet doesn't. He understands that consistently sacrificing short-term profit builds deep, unshakable trust with the customer over a 5 or 10-year horizon. He's willing to look foolish on paper today to build a structural advantage tomorrow. This leads directly to the core engine of his financial philosophy. Chapter 7. The Price-Cost Structure Loop. The third strict rule is to relentlessly feed the price-cost structure loop. This is a mechanism where you intentionally pass all your financial efficiency gains back to the customer rather than keeping them as profit. Imagine a freelance consultant who discovers a new method to complete client business audits twice as fast. A normal, traditional mindset says they should charge the exact same flat fee and simply enjoy the extra free time or the doubled hourly rate. The Bezos mindset says they should immediately cut their prices in half. By intentionally cutting their prices in half, they become the absolute best value in their entire local market. They attract 10 times as many customers practically overnight. This massively increased volume allows them to hire a dedicated assistant, which makes their operation even faster and allows them to lower their prices even further. It's a terrifying strategy for most people because it requires you to constantly give away your hard-earned profit margins. But once this continuous loop starts spinning, it generates a massive gravitational pull that is almost impossible for anyone else to compete with. You build an absolute fortress around your long-term income. Chapter 7. Your competitor's margin is your opportunity. This entire framework fundamentally changes how you view money and competition. While everyone else is trying to protect their comfortable margins and optimize their short-term spreadsheets, you're playing a completely different game. Bezos famously said that a competitor margin is his opportunity. When other businesses try to squeeze every last cent out of their customers, they leave themselves completely vulnerable to someone willing to play the long game. You can apply this to your own career or business by looking at where people are getting comfortable. Where are people overcharging for mediocre value? Where are they obsessing over their vanity metrics while neglecting the actual controllable inputs of their craft? If you focus on absolute cash flow instead of percentage margins, fixate entirely on controllable inputs, and continually reinvest your efficiency gains into providing better value, you become unstoppable. The math might look scary in the short term, but the long-term results speak for themselves. Thank you so much for reading, and I'll see you in the next one.